Good afternoon, everyone. I am Jenny Daves Lapis, and today we will be discussing the chapter 5, which is the developing the scoring rubric. But before that, let me read to you our learning login for today. So at the end of the chapter, the student should be able to explain what a scoring rubric is, cite the parts of a scoring rubric, distinguish between holistic and analytic rubrics and between general and task-specific rubric. Cite the importance of a scoring rubric and discuss the checklist and rating skills. So, uh, so first, I will be discussing the meaning of scoring rubric. But before that, do you have any idea what is scoring rubric? Mm, so now, according to Brookhart 2013, a scoring rubric is a coherent set of criteria for student work that includes descriptions of level of performance quality on the criteria. So meaning, he defines a scoring rubric as a guide that outlines specific criteria for evaluating student work. It includes clear description of different performance level for each criterion. So each criterion daw na ay description sa different performance of the student para mas madali lang ma-assess and ma-differentiate an achievement sa student. Also, Macmillan defines scoring rubric as a scoring guide that uses criteria to differentiate between levels of student proficiency. So according to him, that scoring rubric is a scoring guide na naay criteria in order to see kung unsa kabihasa ang student. By that, you can see if they got the level 1 for beginning, level 2 for developing, level 3 for excellence. So, this makes grading fair and clear for both teachers and students to see how well the student did. For example, grading a student grading a student essay about Philippine Revolution. Instead of just saying good or need improvement for their essay, you can use a rubric. You can use a rubric that that indicate nga naka-indicate dito ang level of performance katong level 1, level 2, level 3 para dali lang nimo makita ang level sa student. And lastly, POFAM 2011 describes scoring rubrics as the scoring procedure for judging student response to performance tests. According to him, he described or defined scoring rubric as a guide for teachers to grade student work on tasks or to grade how well students do on things they have to show. For example, pabuhaton ng student og art purpley with a criteria given. By that, it tells them what to look for and the teacher judge their works or give points based on how well the student did. In short, a scoring rubric is a scoring guide used to assess performance against a set of criteria. So, for instance, scoring rubrics can be most useful in grading essays. So, useful ang scoring rubric when it comes to grade an essay or in evaluating projects such as scrapbooks. So now, let's proceed to the parts of a scoring rubric. So, what are the parts of a scoring rubric? So, there are two major parts of a scoring rubric, which is the coherent set of criteria and description of levels of performance for these criteria. So when we say coherent set of criteria, it is a list of specific skills or qualities that are being assessed or evaluated in a task. And when we say description of levels of performance, it is a descriptions of each level of achievements look like for each skill from basic understanding hanggang sa mastery. So, let's study and determine the criteria and description of the levels of performance. So, as you can see, this is an example of a recitation rubric. So, as you can see in the table, the recitation rubric has 4 criteria, which is the number of appropriate hand gesture, appropriate facial expression, voice inflection, and incorporate proper ambience through feelings in the voice. It has also three levels of performance. As you can see, there are 1, 2, and 3. There are 1, 2, and 3 above the table. So that is called a levels of performance. Also, the second column na ay weight. So, ang weight per weight. So, as you can see, among the 4 criteria, incorporate proper ambience through feelings in the voice has the highest weight or the greatest weight. So student can receive 3, 6, 9 points, whichever is most appropriate for student in this criteria. For example, ang student makakuha siya 3 and recitation fully captures ambience through feelings in the voice. So you're going to times 3 times 3 equals 9. So the student will get 9 points at the moment. So let's now determine the 2 major parts of rubrics. So as you can see, the criteria there, this is the criteria. And also the descriptions of levels of performance is this: loss of inappropriate facial expression, few inappropriate facial expression is an example of descriptions of level of performance. The recitation rubric contains descriptors. So, the recitation rubrics uses descriptors. So, the recitation rubric uses description. So, the recitation rubrics use descriptions to explain what students should do at each level of performance for each skills. Why descriptors are important? Descriptors are important because it helps students understand what good work looks like at each level and how their work is different from other per curriculum. Also, descriptors help teachers grade fairly and consistently distinguish between student work. So now, let's proceed to why include levels of performance. So, bakit nga ba i-include natin ang levels of performance? First thing foremost is the clearer expectation. So first, clearer expectation, meaning it is very useful and important sa mga student and teachers na klaro ang criteria na gihatag before nila buhaton ang task na ilahang buhaton. In order that the student know exactly what expected or inaasahan sa student. And also, it gives teacher a clear guide to see or look how well students are doing. Also, we should include the more consistent and objective assessment. So meaning, level of performance help teachers guide fairly o patas at pare-parehong pagbibigay ng marka sa mga student. of performance provide clear guidelines to tell the difference between good and bad work or even different levels of excellence. So, ang levels of performance, no, as you can see sa kung ipakita nga table ganiha, makita na to dito ang different levels of performance sa mga bata. Dito nimo ma-evaluate o good ba ang work sa mga bata, or tama-tama lang ba, or excellent ba ang ilahang work, or ang ilahang task nga gituo. And lastly, better feedback. So, meaning, level of performance make it easier o mas madali sa mga teacher to give specific feedback to student. Mas dali lang makahatag ang teacher o feedback sa students through levels of performance. Also, it helps both the teacher and student recognize the areas that needs improvement. So, dali lang makita sa teacher or sa mga student ang mga need i-improve about sa ilang work or sa ilang task nga gihimo. So now, let's proceed to analytic versus holistic rubrics. In analytic rubric or most rubric like the recitation rubric, as I mentioned earlier, are example of analytic rubrics. Analytic rubric articulates levels of performance for each criterion, so the teacher can assess student performance on each criterion. So, analytic rubrics break down a task into a specific criteria. Like for example, sa imuhang criteria, na kay grammar or content. Like for example, sa imong grammar, generate na siya separately using a scale like 1 to 5 points ba, or level of performance like excellent, good, needs improvement. And then matag score or level of performance na siya explanation unsay pasabot ana. In order na mas dali ra masabtan sa mga student if unsa pa ang ilahang buhaton para makakuha og taas na score. So, separate ang pag-rate sa criterion in analytic rubric. Unlike holistic rubric, it does not list separate levels of performance for each criterion. So, meaning, pangkinatibukan ang holistic rubric. Ang iyang criteria is as a whole or overall. Pangkinatibukan ang iyang criteria. And then, each criteria, naapod siya levels of performance nga na ay description unsay pasabot ato sa iyahang levels of performance. Like for example, in holistic rubric, it provides an overall assessment of the work based on single skill. Like, sama sa pagdiingon ganiha, like example niya is katong excellent, good, and needs improvement. So, mao ni siya ang iyahang levels of performance or levels of performance. And then, ang holistic rubric is nag-focus siya sa overall quality of the work or task, not individual parts. So, pangkatibuk-an jud ang scoring sa holistic rubric. And then, holistic rubric offers a general description, pag kinatibuk-an iyahang description. Like sa excellent, naka-indicate na dito ang description niya overall. Overall, ang pag-score based on unsa kahawd ang performance sa bata or student, and then na-meet ba nila ang requirements na gina-required sa maestra. So, in order for us to understand better the difference between analytic and holistic rubric, I have here an example. Like for example, you're going to grade a painting. In analytic rubric, generate ang painting separately sa criteria. For example, sa imong criteria, naa dito ang color, ang texture, or painting, content sa painting. And then, generate siya separately. Unlike sa holistic rubric is dali lang iyang pag-scoring. Kay maingon lang ang teacher dito nga like for example iyang levels of performance kay na dito good ba, excellent ba, or needs improvement ang painting. So maingon lang ang teacher, this painting is excellent. So this painting is need improvement pa o wala na meet sa student ang requirements when it comes sa painting na ilahang pakita. And that would be all for my part. And Miss Angeli Valiente will continue the report. Thank you.
This topic is continuation of Chapter 5 about developing the scoring rubric. When to choose an analytic rubric? First, we have to know what an analytic rubric. Analytic rubrics are more common because teachers typically want to assess each criterion separately, particularly for assignments that involve a larger number of criteria. It becomes more and more difficult to assign a level of performance in a holistic rubric as the number of criteria increases. As student performance increasingly varies across criteria, it becomes more difficult to assign an appropriate holistic category to the performance. Additionally, an analytic rubric better handles weighting for criteria, which means these analytic rubrics are typically chosen by teachers when they want to assess each criterion separately. This is also useful for a teacher kung naa sila ipabuhat na activity sa students. Also, analytic rubrics allow for better handling evaluation for students' performance. Ginagamit ang analytic rubrics kung kailangan natin ng isang gawain. Example, group project. Maghatag ka criteria na dapat makita si collaboration, creativity, problem solving. This activity helps students to understand their strengths and weaknesses for better improvement. When to choose a holistic rubric? First, what is holistic rubric is? Holistic rubric tends to be used when a quick or gross judgment needs to be made. If the assessment is a minor one, such as a brief homework assignment, it may be sufficient to apply a holistic judgment. Check, check plus or no check, to quickly review student work. But holistic rubric can also be employed for more substantial assignment. On some tasks, it is not easy to evaluate performance on criterion independently of performance on a different criterion, which means holistic rubrics are best used when you need to make a quick or overall judgment about the task. How many levels of performance should I include in my rubrics? The number of levels in a rubrics depends on the tasker and needs, with no strict rule for having an even or odd number. This is best to start with power, power levels and expand if needed, as making fine distinction increases the chance of error. For example, in oral presentation rubric, amount of eye contact might be an important criterion because the way mag-answer si students or magstorya, naagid siya eye contact to the teacher. Eye contact sa teacher para confident ang iyang answer, then teacher mag-judge kung asa siya nabilong sa never, sometimes, or always. Mao na siya ang 3 levels of performance. On the other hand, After applying the rubric, you might discover that you cannot effectively discriminate among student performances with just 3 levels of performance. Perhaps, in your view, many students fall in between never and sometimes or between sometimes and always, and neither level accurately captures their performance. So at this point, you may decide to expand the number of levels of performance to include never, rarely, sometimes, usually, and always. Diri kay dili lang siya nag-focus sa ay naka-focus sa 3 level. But also nadagdagan lang siya og rarely and usually para mas effective ang student performance. Then daghan pod mapilian si teacher kung asa siya nabilong sa iyang mga answer. There is no right answer as to how many levels of performance there should be for a criterion in analytic rubric. That will depend on the nature of the task assigned, the criteria being evaluated, the student involved in your purposes and preferences. Kani siya na rubric wala siya tama ani because nagbase lang manggod sa task na gihatag ni teacher or sa question niya. Ang we recommend that fewer levels of performance be included initially because such is easier and quicker to administer, easier to explain the students, and easier to expand than larger rubrics to rank. How to decide an appropriate criteria? In developing or in selecting a rubric, the first question we ask is what are the criteria for a good performance or product that the rubric ought to assess. The criteria should be the most appropriate and most important aspects of quality work, performance, or product as described in the learning outcomes and not characteristic of the performance or product task itself. In developing and selecting a rubric, the first question we ask is, what are the criteria for a good performance or product that rubric ought to assess? O ano ang gustong mong matutunan o ma-achieve to the student kung ang goal is to develop their critical thinking skills. Below are criteria for that should guide you in developing a rubrics. Desired characteristic of criteria for classroom rubrics. Mao ni ang mga criteria mao ni ang mga characteristic kung magbuhat ka og criteria for classroom rubric. First, first characteristic is appropriate. Each criterion represents an aspect of a standard, curricular goal, or instructional goal of objective that students are intended to learn. Kung moingon tag appropriate, which means ahom siya sa student naghihimo nimong rubric sa ilaha. Definable. Each criterion has a clear, agreed upon meaning that both students and teachers understand. Observable. Each criterion describes quality and the performance that can be perceived, seen, or heard usually by someone other than the person performing. Next is distinct from one another. Each criterion identifies identify the separate aspects of the learning outcomes the performance is intended to assess. Complete. All the criteria together describe the whole of the learning outcomes the performance is intended to assess. Able to support descriptions along a continuum of quality. Each criterion can be described over a range of performance level.
Good evening, everyone, especially to you, Sir Perez. And let us proceed to the next topic. And our topic tonight is all about a process of developing scoring rubrics. When we say scoring rubrics, a scoring rubric is a tool that outlines the criteria for evaluating a student's work, and also it can help to the student to understand on how to improve their work and reduce subjectivity. And also the development of scoring rubrics goes through a process. The first step in the process, identify the quality and attribute that the teacher wishes to observe in a student output that would demonstrate their level of competency. In order that the teacher can demonstrate the level of proficiency of the student, we need to entail or identify or what quality and attribute of the student. Again, for us to demonstrate the level of proficiency of the student, kailangan na ma-identify ng teacher ang katangian at kalidad ng isang estudyante. And the next is, we also consider these two aspects of rubrics. Deciding whether or holistic analytic rubrics would be more appropriate. And let us know the difference between analytic rubrics and holistic rubrics. Analytic rubrics provide a separate or individual score such as a project, portfolio presentation, and visual aid, give detailed feedback instead of giving all score evaluate different aspect. While the holistic rubrics provide a single overall feedback score, then you need a quick assessment. The next step after defining the criteria for the top level of performance is the identification and definition of criteria. For the lowest level of performance, in other words, the teacher is asked to determine the types of performance that would institute the worst performance or performance would indicate a lack understanding of the concept being measured. And here, another type of rubrics, general and task-specific rubrics. When we say general rubrics are particularly useful for fundamental skills such as writing, mathematics problem solving, and general trait like creativity. They contain a criteria that the general across tasks that why we can be used these general rubrics can be adapted to the different grade levels to make them task specific rubrics. General rubrics is a set of guidelines and used for evaluating for grading assessment or assignment or task for performance. It provides clear criteria for how work will be assessed and typically outlining various level of achievement of each aspect. And also the next is the task specific rubrics. Is a unique to specific tasks that you can use task specific rubrics as reliable assessment of performance on the specific task, such as giving an answer or a specific conclusion. However, a task of specific rubrics is a time-consuming and difficult to create for all the different tasks. Would you like us to assess? However, it makes scoring easier. By creating task-specific rubrics, educator can provide students with a clear expectations and valuable feedback and promoting learning and improvement. And the next is the importance of rubrics. And the first is the rubrics help teacher teach. And when teachers make rubrics, they get a clear idea of what they are looking for in the student work. This helps them teach exactly that the student need to know and how will be graded. And the next is the rubrics help students learn. The rubrics tell students exactly that good works look like and what they need to do to success. With rubrics, students know that expected to them, expected of them, and how their work will be judged. And rubrics make it clear to students that will need to do to get a good grade. And also, a rubric shows student that the standard of success, so they know what to aim for. And the third is the rubrics help to coordinate instruction and assessment. According to Brookhart 2013, math rubric should be designed for repeated use over time. On the several tasks, the students are given a rubrics at the beginning of a unit of instruction of an episode of work instruction, and they tackle the work and receive the feedback, practice, revise, or another task, a continue of practice, and ultimately received a grade, all using the same rubrics as their description of the criteria and the quality levels that will be demonstrate learning.
Checklist and reading skills. Checklists and reading skills differ from scoring fabrics in the sense that they lack descriptions of performance quality, which is one of the two main characteristics of scoring rubrics. Like rubrics, checklists and reading skills, however, do have criteria. The criteria for checklists and rating skills are the list of things that you check or rate. If something has been done, just checklist or how often it has been done. Reading skills. Checklist and reading skills kay naay lahi ng way sa paggamit. Checklist. A checklist is a list of specific characteristics with a place for making whether that characteristics is present or absent. Brookhart 2013 checklists are used when learning outcomes are defined by the extent of an attribute. So, ang checklist kay unsaon pag-check. So, for example, pagbuhat og sentence, like i-check nimo ang grammar. Kung tama ba, kung giunsa nila paggamit sa toldo, comma, o capital letter ug uban pa. So, ang reading skills is a list of specific characteristics with a place for making the degree to which its characteristic is displayed. Brookhart 2013, an example, is a frequency reading skill that lists and frequency with which some characteristics are observed. So, for example, in public speaking, the characteristic makes eye contact. Is it done frequently, occasionally, seldom, or never? So, ang written skills kay unsaon nimo pag-rate sa isa ka batasan or attitude. So, for example, naay speaker nag-istorya nakipag-eye contact siya sa naminaw sa iyaha sa pag-rate. Sa isa ka tawo, magabase siya kung seldom or panag sa frequently, occasionally, or dili jud. So, ang skills, always, frequently, sometimes, never, consistently, often, sometimes, rarely, always, usually, sometimes, never. Almost, always, usually, often, occasionally, rarely, very rarely, never for choices are usually sufficient as illustrated. Other numbers of options can be used. Typical use to rate how often students exhibit behaviors
or learning skills, works independently, follows directions, completes homeworks, to rate how often students have certain feelings or attitudes about their work. I am confident in my work. Almost some noun, sometimes used with a noun, for example, all problems, most problems, none of the problems, all sentences, most sentences, some sentences, none of the sentences. To rate how often problems or exercises exhibit certain characteristics, labeled the answer showed all work. To rate how often a certain kind of work exhibits desired characteristics, instead of a checklist for each sentence, students might make an overall rating. My sentences begin with capital letters, have proper punctuation, and so on. Figure 14, a list of examples of frequency skills. Figure 14 is a frequency rating skills that a high school chemistry teacher used to have her students check their own work on volume, temperature problems. The rating skills indicates how many problems, most, some, or none, the skills was demonstrated. So, mao ni sila ang mga example kung unsaon paggamit sa rating skills sa mga students sa problema or sa trabaho.